From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Charlie Costal.
And I'm Sophia Pedroso. Thanks for joining us.
With two teams taking on their Tobacco Road rival and some facing unfamiliar foes, this weekend is sure to be a wild one.
And not only that, but both lacrosse teams will be facing key conference rivals as they close in on championship time. But first, let's check in on the Diamond Heels. Under the lights at Boschmer Stadium, the number 19 Diamond Heels kicked off their weekend showdown with ACC rival Duke in thrilling fashion last night. The Blue Devils took the lead early on with a two-run homer by Tyler Albright, extending his 11-game hitting streak. Senior captain Jackson Vanderbrake showed that anything they can do, we can do better, hitting a two-run bomb out the Bosch. Grad pitcher Jake Knapp held it down on the mound with 7 gritty innings. Things got tense in the 9th, but UNC's defense slammed the door literally with a highlight reel double play from shortstop Alex Madera to steal the 4-3 win. The Heels now look to clinch the series win tonight.
I think that that's something that our lineup can do. We can hit 1 through 9, get on base 1 through 9, and our 1 through 4 for 5 guys have won us games, and you can't expect them to go out and do that every single day. So the bottom of the lineup has to be productive, and we were today.
You know, Sophia, basketball might be over, but the Tobacco Road rivalry is still going strong.
You know, it feels good to actually win this time.
Agreed. Last year they ended their season with a regular series win against Duke, and hopefully they can clinch it again this year.
Boy, do I hope so. You know, baseball's doing a little rough right now. We got a recent loss to Louisville and Stanford, and we're 7-6 in conference right now. So an ACC series win, although not vital, could be really good. Yeah,
and softball has a tough weekend this weekend as well, as they'll face Duke. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, and first let's talk about the softball game Wednesday night against Charlotte in Chapel Hill. The Heels started strong with 7 runs in the first 2 innings. Number 16, Kiana Pierce, was on fire, hitting to the left field sweet spot, bringing in 4 runs. Lily Parrish held off the Niners for 4 straight innings from the mound. Charlotte managed 1 run in the top of the 5th, but that didn't stop the Heels' success as they followed with a homer from superstar Pierce. She left the field with a career high of 7 RBIs. Final score, 11-1, UNC on top.
And then we jumped on them offensively, you know, and I think Charlotte's a really, really good team. RPI-wise, in terms of rankings, they're right near us. So this was a big game for us today, and I feel like we really sent a statement about what we're all about this year.
I mean, it felt great, but honestly, in the moment, I had no idea. I think knowing I was on base my first at-bat, like every at-bat after that was just like, okay, put the ball in play. Because it's really easy to get big and like get really excited, and then things don't really work.
Tar Heel softball now heads into enemy territory, traveling to Durham for a rivalry series against Duke. The Blue Devils have had a strong season, boasting an impressive lineup. Graduate student Danny Drogmuller has led the charge on the mound with a 10-5 record, while Anna Gold has powered the offense with 31 RBIs and 6 home runs. But Duke's numbers don't quite stack up against Carolina's Kat Rodriguez, who's driven in a staggering 62 RBIs and knocked out 6 home runs of her own. The Heels also bring depth in the circle, with a solid rotation of pitchers ready to take on the Tobacco Road rivals. Our softball analyst Alden Archdeacon joins us now for more about this upcoming rivalry matchup. Alden, what should the Heels expect out of the Duke Blue Devils this weekend?
Thanks, Charlie. It's a big weekend for the Heels. We take on the Blue Devils, and all I'm saying is I'm hoping the weather is not an indication for what the outcome's going to be, because it's not per se Carolina blue. But here's the deal. The Blue Devils are really good. They're 25-12 overall, 7-5 in conference play, and they're ranked number 19. So this could be the Heels' first ranked win of the season. Let's take a look at the Blue Devils. Here they are at the plate. This is Amina Vega. She's our leadoff hitter, and she just hits singles all day long. She's kind of like our leadoff hitter, Alex Coleman. Infield single hits right up the gap. Next play, you got Anna Gold. Charlie, you mentioned her earlier. She has a little bit more power, 6 home runs on the season, and hammers it out of the park and drives in 2 runs. The Blue Devils like to get out early, so the Heels need to be prepared for this. Now, as it comes to who we're facing when we're at the bat, we have Danny. She has a 2.62 ERA, the best for the Blue Devils, loves to throw a curveball. And then you got Cassidy Curd, an absolute stud in the World Series last year for the Blue Devils. This year, she's not as dominant, but still someone that the Heels are going to face for sure. But here's the deal. We have talent, so do the Blue Devils. It's just going to come down to who can hit more home runs, and I honestly believe the Heels might be able to do so. So get your popcorn ready. Get that quad box ready with the baseball, softball, basketball games. It's going to be a great weekend. Charlie?
So, Alden, be honest. Ultimately, which team do you think is taking home this series?
Honestly, Charlie, I kind of mentioned this. I think the Heels are going to win. The Blue Devils have not seen a pitcher like our ace, Kenna Ray Dark. Plus, we have 14 more home runs than them on the season. So I think we're going to show Durham who runs the state, or at least for softball.
The anticipation builds. Thanks, Alden.
UNC's Eli Littman is the ACC Men's Epee Fencer of the Year. The senior went undefeated in the elimination section of this year's ACC tournament and won his 2nd career title. He also earned the Most Valuable Player award at the tournament, giving Carolina the MVP for the 2nd year running. Littman is the 2nd Tar Heel to win the Epee Fencer of the Year since 2021. The women's rowing team heads west to the Volunteer State for the Rocky Top Invitational this weekend. The number 20 ranked Tar Heels finished 3rd in the Benson Cup in Sarasota last week. Looking to take home some hardware in Tennessee, the team will compete in the 6 different races. And the women's tennis team is heading west to take on the new ACC foe, Stanford. The Cardinal team is coming off a 2-match win streak. Valerie Glosman is the ACC Freshman of the Week once again, following a win against Florida State. The win brought her debut season record to 25-5. Ranked 8th in the country, Glosman is going to be tough to beat. The Heels will have to keep up their momentum from the SMU sweep.
And on the men's side, the Tar Heel tennis team faces a series of tough challenges as they head to the West Coast to play against Stanford and Cal this weekend. The Tar Heels are set to face the 9th-ranked Cardinal in a high-profile matchup. Coming off a tough 4-0 loss to number 27 Florida State, UNC will look to bounce back. The Heels will need to bring their best to pull off the upset. First serve is tonight at 8:30. The Tar Heels will then face 10th-ranked Cal Berkeley to close off their weekend out west. Our tennis analyst, Marilee Tu, joins us now for a look at these matchups. Marilee, thanks for being here.
Yes, and thank you for having me. You know I love talking about tennis.
I know you do. So to start off, men's and women's both play Stanford, and this marks the beginning of a new kind of matchup with the ACC's latest additions. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. The women haven't played Stanford since 2019, and probably for the best. Out of our 9 total matchups, the Heels have only won once, and the men have only played the Stanford Cardinals 1 time, and that was in 2012, so it's been a while.
Yes, it has. And the conclusion is that the Tar Heels will be facing an unfamiliar style of coaching and playing this weekend.
Yeah, the Tar Heels are going to be out of their comfort zone. They will have to be adaptable if they want to put some points up.
Agreed. And alongside that, what are some things the Tar Heels will have to look out for?
Well, the Stanford men's team is ranked 9th in the country. 3 of their singles players are nationally ranked, including the man to look out for, 11th ranked Samir Banerjee. And I suspect either Chris Xu or Vladislav Melnik will play him. And let me tell you, they must be on their A game if they want to put up some points against Banerjee.
Yeah, very interesting. But on the other side, what about the women's teams? They're pretty much playing at their A game, right?
Yes, you know the girls are killing it. I love the women's team, love talking about them. We are ranked 7th in the nation, and Stanford is ranked 25th. I mean, 25th, like we definitely have our leg up on them, or should I say a heel? Well, nonetheless, the Tar Heels will have to lock in. Stanford has the home court advantage. They're on a winning streak. They have won 8-1 at home and have won 3 of their last 4 matchups. There's a lot of momentum going into this match, and both the Tar Heels and the Cardinals have 4 players ranked in the top 50.
So what's your top matchup? What's the one to look out for?
The matchup, not of the day, not of the season, but maybe of the century, is going to be 6th-ranked Tar Heel Reese Brantmeyer versus 8th-ranked Cardinal Valerie Glosman. I'm so excited to watch it. Hopefully Reese can bring home a win to Chapel Hill, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, that will be quite the showdown, Marilee. I'm excited to see how it turns out, and thank you for being here.
Yes, and thank you for having me.
Of course. And continuing on with tennis, UNC's club tennis team partnered with the Abilities Tennis Association on Saturday for a full day of fun. Reporter Gianna D'Amato tells us more about Game Set Benefit.
Athletes from all experienced backgrounds can come out and play tennis with the club team members at this annual event.
I think it's really great. I like playing with the athletes. Everybody's really into it, and it's really fun to play tennis and pickleball. Athletes are here today to serve up awareness and support for the Abilities Tennis Association, a nonprofit organization looking to make tennis accessible to all.
Since this event was introduced 4 years ago, members of the ATA have become close with the club tennis team, and their bonds continue to grow each year.
I get to partner with them and play doubles and dribble with them and just lots of smiles and make friends. And a lot of these athletes know some of the college club tennis team members who have been coming out because they've been doing it so often.
This event opens tennis to anyone and everyone who wants to play. No one is left out, and everyone learns new tennis skills.
We're also raising money for Abilities Tennis Association, which is a really great cause that allows people with intellectual disabilities to learn and play the game of tennis.
ATA member AJ showed off his new skills and knows he's great at what he does.
I guess I enjoy playing it because I'm good at it. That's all I can say, really.
I'm Gianna D'Amato reporting.
It's great to see that club tennis is creating a way to raise awareness and promote inclusivity in sports.
Our Carolina women's lacrosse team will play one of the most intense matchups of the season tomorrow. The 2nd-ranked Tar Heels will face off against number 1 ranked Boston College at 11. The last time these two teams competed, the Eagles ran away, or should I say flew away with the win. And with both teams running similar defensive systems, fans can hope to see an exhilarating offensive side to the game. For more about this monumental matchup, let's go to Ground Balls with Gray. Sophia?
I don't know about you, Sophia, but I've had this game circled on my calendar for weeks. It's the Battle of Undefeated here in Chapel Hill, as Carolina hosts number 1 Boston College, who's already coming in as the defending national champion, looking to prove why they're still the team to beat. Let's break down the numbers and see how they match up so far. When it comes to offensive firepower, both teams bring elite scoring threats. For Boston College, it's senior Rachel Clark. She has been unstoppable, leading the team with 61 goals and 77 points, converting on about 70% of her shots on goal. Now, on the other side, of course, we have to mention redshirt freshman phenomenon Chloe Humphrey, tallying 50 goals in her first season with an even sharper 83.3 shot on goal percentage. Now, we have to look out for those playmakers. I mean, they're the ones setting up the opportunities. For BC, it's McKenna Davis. She's been the top distributor, racking up 45 assists and 61 points of the season. And Chloe's sister, Ashley Humphrey, has been just as impactful, leading the Tar Heels with 46 assists and 65 points. Her ability to find open cutters makes her a difference maker in UNC's attack. Both Davis and Humphrey are elite passers. Whoever controls the tempo and sets up the scorers more effectively will have the edge. But offense alone will not decide this game. I mean, Boston's college defense has been rock solid this season, holding opponents to an average of 6.5 goals per game across their 13 matchups this season. But the Tar Heels have been even tougher. North Carolina's lockdown defense has allowed just 5.8 goals per game, and they've done it against a much tougher schedule. It's a battle of firepower here in Chapel Hill. It's going to be defense versus offense. 2 undefeated teams in 60 minutes to prove who deserves the number 1 spot in the country.
Sophia, what do you think will set the Heels apart tomorrow?
I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but it's got to be defense. You can't win a game on just one end of the field. Defense momentum tomorrow is going to be just as important as offense to shut down the Eagles and earn the number 1 spot in the country.
Well, we'll see if they can lock in and secure that number 1 ranking tomorrow. Thanks, Sophia. Following their close loss to Army last weekend, Carolina men's lacrosse looks to secure a victory against Virginia at home. The Tar Heels have been solid this season, clinching 5 of their 6 home games. A major force behind their success has been the sophomore sensation Owen Duffy. In their game against Army, Duffy exploded for 6 points, scoring 3 goals and 3 assists. He already has 39 points to his name in 2025. Carolina will need Duffy to continue his ascendance as they face Virginia tomorrow and look to get closer to the championship. We'll now take it to our men's lacrosse analyst, Dylan Stalter, who's joined by Tar Heel midfielder Brett Koopman.
Thanks, Charlie. Brett, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You guys have been off to a hot start this year. 8th in the country, 7-2 in the non-con. How have you guys been clicking so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great year so far. We have a lot of work to do, and I think with a lot of our guys being young, especially our defense, having the experience in the games that we've had so far, we have a lot to learn.
Now, a lot of talk has been about the offense, but I want to show some love to the guys on the back end. Wambach's been phenomenal in the draws. Jan Ficara's been a stud in net. How have you seen these guys making an impact?
Yeah, to start off with Brady Wambach, being our FOGO, we talk about it in almost every meeting leading up to the next week, and I think we're up in plus 76 possessions on the year, which makes a really big impact for our team, make and take it after we score. So he's been a really good impact for our team. With Gian Ficaro, Michael, having that senior leadership in our goal in the cage has been really beneficial for us, being a younger defense, and having him as a leader and, just a playmaker to be able to see shots, make the saves, and get the ball up and out has been really important for us.
Now, your last game was a nail-biter against a top 10 Army squad. Back and forth, came down to the last play. What do you guys take away from a game like that?
Yeah, the big thing, I think the main thing that we're focusing on after that loss was fundamentals. Going back to the fundamentals and focusing on the things that we can control and not getting caught up in, the moment or, what game we're playing. And our goal right now is to just focus on us and play to the best of our ability and leading back to fundamentals.
Now, conference play starts tomorrow against Virginia. How are you guys prepping for that game, as well as the rest of your tough ACC matchups?
Yeah, kind of similar to like I said. We're just really trying to focus on what we can control. Now, we do have the things that we want to do to be able to be in a place to beat Virginia in these next upcoming games against ACC matchups. Doing the things that we control. One of our main things is getting up and out, going from defense to offense, creating ways to score goals without just being 6-on-6. So the transition game is very important for us. And we've had a really big emphasis on our defense and focusing on what we're capable of in practice. So we've been trying to get to do one-on-ones against our ones versus ones. So having stars versus stars to get a little bit more competition throughout the week.
Well, we wish you guys luck tomorrow. Thanks
Thank
again.
You. Appreciate it.
Track and field is set to compete this weekend at the Vert class meeting in High Point. The Tar Heels are bringing momentum, especially in the field events. Max Stacken-Pickering enters as the #2 decathlete in the nation after a standout performance in Texas, while Ty Castro looks to build on his impressive PR streak in the hammer throw.
Whether you're a seasoned marathon runner or just lacing up your running shoes for the first time, one club at UNC is bringing students together mile after mile. Emmy Ingalls tells us about UNC's running club, Healthy Celebrations.
The club offers a place for Tar Heels to stay active, build friendships, and push their limits.
Our previous leaders were students at UGA, and UGA has a really big chapter there, and one of the leaders transferred, so she wanted to make sure that we had the same thing at UNC, so that's why she started a branch here.
Healthy Celebrations is for runners of all levels, from first-time runners to marathon experts.
We do a 3-mile loop. It's out in the Gimgle neighborhoods, and we sometimes add a few miles if the group is feeling like that, but typically we stick to our 3-mile loop. We make sure all runners feel included by making sure that everyone is invited.
In addition to getting outside and getting some exercise in, Healthy Celebrations is a great way to build community and create friendships with other runners.
It was one of the members' birthdays last year, so we all went on a run. We went to Purple Bowl after, grabbed smoothies.
Caroline says don't be intimidated about getting involved. Just go. Get yourself out, and it could end up working out really well. To anyone who is interested in joining, the group meet is linked in the Instagram bio, and the group meets at the Old Well on Monday mornings at 7 a.m. I'm Emmy Ingalls reporting.
Inspiring Tar Heels to lace up and hit the pavement, UNC's Healthy Celebrations keeps our campus moving.
And now it's time to announce this week's winner for Play of the Week. You all voted on our Instagram story, and the winner is none other than Alyssa Utsby, who makes a swift save from India Navarre's missed free throw before passing the ball to Lexi Donarski, who gets it to Renaya Kelly for this deep three.
Sophia, what a fantastic play, but also what an unfortunate end for the women's basketball team.
I know, Charlie. I sure was bummed watching that game play out, but I have some hope for next season. We got some great stars. Renaya Kelly, Lainey Grant will be returning to the court next year. So I think the team will be in good hands.
I agree. Maybe they could go just as far, if not further.
Hey, we'll see, right? But that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Monday with all of the highlights of another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.